Okay, this is lesson 1.1, linear equations and problem solving. This is all review, so you should have some understanding of how to do this. Can you all hear me fine? I feel like I'm not even talking. Okay, so anyways, if you're having problems with the warm-ups, you have to come in and get help. We're not always going to go over them. We are today. So I put a line at the equal sign. First thing I have to do is get rid of the loner. That's the 5. So I'm going to subtract 5 to both sides. Negative 2x equals 12. Then I divide by negative 2. X equals negative 6. Now, if you got that wrong, please come in and ask questions. Over here again, I'm going to add 8 because that's my loner. 4x equals 21. Divide by 4. Does 4 go into 21 evenly? No. Now, in your calculator, please just hit the fraction button. Everybody do this. I want you to find the fraction button. I think it looks like this. Box over box. Is that what it looks like? Yes, this is what it looks like. Box over box. Push that. If you don't have my calculator, I don't know. Then I want you to put 21 on top, 4 on bottom, and I want you to hit enter. What does it tell you? Okay, now, I told you what, 5 point something? Okay, hold on. You want to hit the F. Can I see this? I think it's the F to D. Yeah, you want to hit the F to D button. See, the F to D button will switch it back from decimal to fraction. You can leave it 21 over 4 in my class. I don't care. That's fine, okay? You can make it a decimal if you want. Please don't. Okay, use the rectangle below to find the length of the missing side. If the perimeter is 26, write an equation and solve for the missing side. Okay. Well, right off, I know what the answer should be, don't you? What should the answer be? No, that's the perimeter. It has to be 8 because these two sides have to be the same. But we want to be able to solve it algebraically. So what do? Well, what we do to solve it algebraically is we take everything we know, 5 plus 8, and we set it equal, and we set it equal to the perimeter, which is 26. However, that's not all our sides. What am I missing? I don't know it yet. I'm going to pretend like I don't know it. So I'm missing an x, because that's what I do when I don't know the length of that side. So now I'm going to solve for x. 5 plus 5 is 10, plus 8 is 18. 18 plus x equals 26. How do I get rid of the 18? Subtract 18 from both sides. X equals 8. 8 what? 8 meters. You don't put the meters in the equation. You only put it on the answer. I will let you know when we take the test on the Chromebookers, if you don't have your unit of measurement, it's going to mark it wrong. I don't grade it. It does. It is the all-powerful computer. Okay. Now, this should be easy to find. How far away are these two people? Just tell me how far away they are. Just look at it, read it. They're 400 feet, right? You can do that without writing an equation. The problem is they want you to write an equation. So how do I write an equation? How did you solve this problem? 600 minus 1,000. Well, it'd be 1,000 minus 600, but that's okay. Yes, so what can I do? I'm going to say, okay, if I say 600, if I say 1,000 minus 600 equals 400, that's not really an equation. That solved the problem. That's okay. So if I want to write an equation, I have to have an x in there somewhere, right? So what I can do is, I know that this dude's at 1,000 feet, right? So I can say 600 plus x equals 1,000. See, 600 plus some distance is going to bring me to a 600 plus 400 is 1,000. That's a real, I don't know. I don't like that way. So this is what I'm going to tell you to do. Put your x right there. That's an equation. There's an x. I put the x for the answer. You'll never see an equation in here like this, but I'm going to tell you to go ahead and do that. I'll accept that on the test. Now, I don't know if the Chromebook will, but I will. So that means when you take test B, we might have to, you might get it wrong on test A. That's okay. We take test B, you'll be okay. All right. See if you can do number 3. Okay, so I have $200 in my bank account. I pay my electric bill. Now I only have $88 left. Now I have to write an equation to solve for how much the electric bill is. This is a little more algebraic when we set it up. So how much do I have in my bank account? 200. That's my total, isn't it? So I put that over where the answer goes. So I paid my electric bill. Do I know what my electric bill is? No, I don't know what that is. However, I have 88 bucks left in my account. So if I take 88 plus X, I'm going to get 200, right? So if I now solve for X, I got my electric bill, don't I? So how do I solve for X? Subtract 88. What does X equal? What is it? 112. Now, and I got to put my dollar sign here. Now, a lot of people might put it up like this. 200 minus X equals 88. Because this makes sense too, doesn't it? I had 200. I subtract my electric bill. I now have 88 left. Here is the situation with this. So I'm going to subtract 200, correct? And then I'm going to get negative X equals negative 112. Now, we all know you're not going to have negative 112, are you? No. So how do you solve this problem? We got to divide both sides by negative 1. So X equals 112. I don't like doing that. So I set it up an easy way. Put your total where the total goes on the right side of the equal sign, and then tell me what makes up that total. However you want to do it is fine, though, yo. You be you, bro. Isn't that what Diet Coke says? If you want a yurt, yurt it up. If you want to live in a yurt, yurt it up. Uh-oh. Okay, so, anyways, if you want to live in a yurt, yurt it up. Diet Coke. Anybody know what a yurt is? It's just a tent. It's a fancy tent that has, like, maybe canvas. It's circular. All right, we're going to skip number 4. I want you to circle number 4. That's part of your homework. Number 4 is part of your homework. Really? Do we really need to do that as homework? Who has the answer already? Yeah. If you have the answer, stand up. Okay. Altitude and an airplane. My airplane is at a cruising altitude. Here it is. It's cruising along. And then it drops, descends means drops, 3,000 feet. And its new altitude is now 21,000 feet. Write an equation for its original altitude. Please don't. Please don't tell me the answer. You should all know the answer. You should all know the answer. It's cruising along. It lowers by 3,000 feet. Now it's at 21,000 feet. So 21,000 plus not plus 3,000. Sure, plus x equals, what does it equal? 24,000 feet. Well, where did I get 24,000 feet from? Well, that's where it was, right? I just made this my x. I manipulate it any way I want. Now, if I want to put the 3,000 in, 21,000 plus 3,000 equals x. So it was at 24,000, wasn't it? It dropped 3,000, now it's at 21,000. Okay. The temperature in Iceland is half the temperature in Phoenix. The temperature in Phoenix right now is 120. Which it feels like that out there. So what is the temperature in Iceland? What do I have to do to the 120? Divide it by 2, or I can multiply by 1/2. There it is. That's your equation. And the answer is 60. Okay. The following table shows a local golf club charges for non-members and members. Non-members pay $15 a session. Members only pay $3, but what do they have to pay up front? $200. So find the costs for a non-member, here's non-members, who use the service 15 times. So I'm going to pay $15 a time, so it's really going to be 15 times 15, isn't it? What is it? 125? 225, thank you. So this is $225. Please put your dollar signs. So a non-member is going to pay $225 to use the service 15 times. How much is a member going to pay? Well, how much are they going to pay per time? They're going to pay $3, right? So that they're only going to pay $45 to golf when they get there. But what did they have to pay up front? $200. So these guys are going to actually pay $245. So if you're only going to go 15 times, should you buy a membership? No. Why not? Because it's cheaper. So the answer is no. Why? Cheaper. Now you can say, oh, if you don't buy a membership, it's only $225. If you do, it's $245. Now eventually it's going to become cheaper to buy a membership, but not yet. Okay, go ahead and do number 8. First thing I have to do is get rid of the loaner. That's the 12. So I'm going to subtract 12 to both sides. This cancels, leaving me 2/3 x equals -4. Now this, you were probably taught a little differently. I'm going to show you an easy way to do it. It's an extra step, but I think it's easier. Anytime you want to get rid of a fraction, you take the bottom number of your fraction and you multiply both sides by the bottom number. I'm left with 2x equals -12. Now this looks very familiar to me. So now we're going to divide both sides by 2. 2's cancel. X equals -6. So now we have to describe it. What do we do first? Subtracted 12. Multiplied by 3. Divided by 2. It's that easy. That easy. Go ahead and do this one. Okay, very first step. I subtracted 5 to both sides. 12 equals -6x. Now I divide by negative 6. Negative 2 equals x. So right here I write subtract 5. Divide by 6. Okay. This, you have to solve both of these columns. You have to solve for both of these columns. So again, column A, what's the first thing I'm going to do, class? Get rid of the loner. So what does that mean? I subtract 5 to both sides. Negative 8 equals negative 2x. Turn off your phone. All right. Now what do? Divide by? Divide both sides by negative 2. I end up with 4 equals x. So now, same thing over here. What do I do first? Get rid of the loner. I'm going to add 8 to both sides. 3x equals 20. Now I divide both sides by 3. X equals 20 over 3. And that's fine to keep your answer like that. However, we come back over here, we have to know some things about the numbers. The number in column A is greater. The number in column B is greater. The two numbers are equal. I know the two numbers are not equal. I know the relationship can be determined. So now I either have A or B, and at this point, you all just guess. Because you're like, I don't know what 20 over 3 is. Well, put it in your calculator. What does it tell you? It's 6 point something, isn't it? Okay, so in this case, I'll convert this to, what is it, 6 point what? 6.6. 6.6 is bigger than 4, so column B is bigger, and I have to write my B right here. Yay! Oh, boy. This is where you really need to try to pay attention, because this, I'm going to show you an easy way to do this if you just pay attention. So I have D equals R times T. What does that mean? It's distance, rate, time, but who cares? So how does R change when T is tripled? What are we going to do to T? We're going to multiply it by 3, right? We're going to multiply T by 3. Now, they want to know, how does R change, correct? Is R on the same side as T or a different side? So if it's on the same side, this is backwards. If it's on the same side, you do the opposite. I multiplied by 3, so what do I have to do to T? Divide by 3. So D remains constant. That stays the same. So I have to divide R by 3. So how does R change? Divided by 3. R is divided by 3. R is cut by a third. Okay, so let's look at the next one. How does how does X change when Y is cut in half? What do I do to something to cut it in half? Divide by 2. Or you multiply by half. That's okay. Let's divide by 2. So we're going to divide that by 2. So is X on the same side? So what do? We do the same or opposite? Opposite. What's the opposite of division? So that means we're going to have to multiply X by 2. So X is multiplied by 2. If I divide by 2, that means I have to multiply by 2. W stays the same. Same side, do the opposite. So somewhere I would write same side, do opposite. I know I didn't spell that right. Different side, do same. So this is how you take notes. You write what you don't know. I don't know what you don't know. Okay. Onward and upward. How does C change when P is doubled? Same sides or different? Same side. So if it's the same side, what do? I'll do the opposite. And P is doubled. So that means P is divided or times by 2. So what is C? C is divided by 2 or cut in half. PBR, what happens when P is cut in half? Cut in half, what does that mean, cut in half? Divided by 2, and B remains constant. So this is going to stay the same. So which one am I talking about? I need to know what happens to R. Different sides, what do? Same. So that means R is divided by 2. So R is divided by 2, or cut in half.